Dr. Danforth J. Whiting was born to Emery and Hannah Whiting in 1844 in Liberty, Ohio. Danforth fought in the Civil War when he was 19. He joined the Company F 16th Infantry Regiment of the Vermont Volunteer Forces. He even fought in the famous Battle of Gettysburg. When he got out of the service, he studied dentistry at Rutland, Vermont, graduating in 1867 and settling in Northfield on August 8th of the same year. Whiting settled into a second-story corner office of the Scriver Building and practiced dentistry for close to 50 years. In 1871, Dr. Whiting married Cordelia Porter Deming, his wife of 47 years. They had 5 children. Whiting was a blessing to the town of Northfield, Minnesota in many ways. Not only as a dentist, but also serving on many of the city's planning committees, activities in his church, which was the Methodist Episcopal Church, and for his eyewitness account of the infamous James Younger Gang's raid on the First National Bank. On September 7th of 1876, it was a beautiful late summer day in Northfield. Whiting was in his dentist office at the top floor of the Scriver Building, windows wide open. It was a little before 2 o'clock when he heard the first gunshots. He was with a patient named Addie Murray. When they heard the shooting, they thought the noise could have been advertising for the Wild West show that was going to be in town that evening. When the shooting continued, however, Whiting came onto the steps outside of the Scriver Building to see what was going on. After a few moments, he realized that the bank was under attack. While he was watching the battle, he heard the men shouting orders and firing at the citizens. One of the men saw Dr. Whiting on the steps and ordered him to get back inside and started shooting at him. He ducked back in and told his patient, Addie Murray, to get inside quickly. Ironically, Addie Murray eventually married Henry Wheeler, who was one of the townspeople that killed one of the robbers and wounded another. After the fighting was over, he went down the stairs to the street and took one of the guns from the robbers that remained dead in the street. This gun was eventually given to the collection of the First National Bank of Northfield. In 1918, Cordelia died suddenly. Life was never the same. He retired the following year at the age of 75. After hanging up his dental tools for the last time in 1919, he went to Mankato on October 22nd to stay with his daughter. Later in the evening that day, he collapsed and died. His body was taken back to Northfield, and a huge gathering of townspeople that love him dearly bid him farewell, a dedicated servant to the town, a beloved dentist, and a great pioneer of Minnesota. He was buried in Oaklawn Cemetery, together with his wife and one of his 5 children, Ruth Whiting Scott. Ruth's son, Ted, was one of the founding members of the Northfield Historical Society, and his daughter, Heather, might be seen given a tour at the Historic Bank Museum inside the famous Scriver Building. I'm Tim Freeland, and together with my father, Al Freeland, we clean these gravestones with approved industry methods.